Fight Club. Fight Club.
Ladies and gentlemen, from
North Texas.
let's get ready to
Fight Club.
Here we're gonna go to the NFC West. Gentlemen.
West.
Because I don't think this one will be nearly as exciting
Wow.
as the other two.
Are they cousins?
I mean,
Two
all
of
four of
those
them.
guys are two of those guys are the same.
yeah, there is
Honestly, are those two sets of twins?
the phenotypes here are not very dissimilar, are they? So, as you can tell, a lot of these guys are kind of shaped the same way, kind of look the same. So, what is going to be the differentiating factor? Well, let's look over the contestants.
Jonathan
shall we?
Gannon's got the
The fighters.
Jonathan Cannons.
All right, so Jonathan Gannon is probably the most buff of the four.
You think? Not
Right.
McVay?
Mike McDonald looks kind of jacked.
I think
too,
Mike
though. It's
McVay.
just a weird-
I think
it's
Sean
a weird-
McVay does a lot of
Sorry.
cardio.
Yeah, Sean
I
McVay.
think Gannon just does straight weights,
Okay.
right? And then Kyle
Yeah,
Shanahan, he hasn't been in shape since he was at Texas as a wide receiver.
Kyle Shanahan is like the football nepotism version of Kendall Roy in Succession. You know what I mean?
There you
There's a lot of highs, but ultimately like not the championship, and you know he might also be doing a lot of cocaine.
Yeah, now you look at Mike McDonald and doesn't inspire like a lot of like he's not a very intimidating looking guy. Although there is an image actually that I just pulled up where he is in a very tight Ravens t-shirt, and it looks like he has a set of guns himself.
Oh, okay.
So there you go. He might actually, you know what?
Tickets to the gun show.
Yeah, the images from the Seattle Seahawks are not as flattering as the ones from the Ravens. But you know, the Ravens, they want to build this hard-nosed, tough image, and I guess that applies to
And
the
it-
coaches too.
It's again a factor of there's just not as many because he hasn't been there very long.
That's true. This is barely year two for him, and I don't remember how he did last year. Who did
Was
we
he
have?
in the Fight Club last year?
He should have been though.
Yeah,
That
he
was-
lost to McVay.
That's right. Okay, there you go. Who won the NFC West last year? Was it McVay?
Sean McVay beat Kyle Shanahan in the NFC West championship round.
There you go. All righty. Well, listen, this year it may not be the same smooth sailing from McVay. All right, it's another year in the NFC West. McVay, I believe, is the second most tenured.
Yeah.
Yeah, the second most tenured coach in that division alongside
Was he not-
Callahan.
Oh, you're right.
But,
I was gonna
you
say
know-
he's the most, but Shanahan probably is.
Yeah, Shanahan, I think, precedes him by a year, if I am not mistaken, or maybe they were hired around the same time. I'm not sure, but they're the most tenured guys in the division. Jonathan Gannon in year 3 now. Mike McDonald in year 2. These guys are hungry. They want to prove themselves, but their teams are just not going to do it. You look at the Cardinals.
Same year. Sorry.
All right, there you go. Yeah, you look at the Cardinals. Dog shit. Just top to bottom, dog shit. The Seattle Seahawks, right? They took.
No one knows.
No one knows. However, it looks like they did take a couple steps back in the offensive department. They just their skill position players are
They're
not
trying to play ground and pound football.
They might have to, especially with Darnold as their Sam Darnold as their not head coach, as their QB. But anyway, Mike McDonald, he's a
Maybe
guy
he'll
who
be a coach.
he cut his teeth doing defense, right? He believes in that hard-nosed, like, beat-em-up style of play. McVay, Shanahan, sure, they might like to run the ball, but these guys, they're finesse. And all those years of being finesse, it's going to make them soft. So this is what's happening, right? We're at that same coaching conference. We're in the NFC West room. This room, it just smells of failure, disappointment, and just a little bit of overstated accomplishments, right? And these guys, they're just sitting across from each other. They're all doing the Spider-Man pointing thing because they all kind of just are built the same, right? And they just start duking it out, and it's real cartoonish. You know, when like there's a giant pile of people fighting and they're just smoke in the air, and you just see fists. That's what's happening here. But immediately, Jonathan Gannon gets his ass whooped because they all start to gang up on him. They see the guns on him. They realize that's the only thing that he's got going for him because he's not really good at anything else. So they all gang up on him. They throw his head into the plaster of the walls, and he's just there, cartoonishly just stuck there, unable to get out. All right. Now you look at Sean McVay, Kyle Shanahan, Mike McDonald. Sean McVay, Kyle Shanahan, there's a rivalry there. Right? They lock eyes. There's like electricity in the air. If there was a crowd, they would all be chanting, "You both suck. You both suck." But with real like
Vigor.
Vigor as well. And then there's Mike McDonald, the odd man out. Now, this guy's a smart guy. He's a smart head coach. He's a smart defensive coordinator. He knows I should just let these two fuckers go at it. So he does that. He doesn't do what Kellen Moore should have done. He should have just stepped away and let these two have at it. So Sean McVay throws an uppercut to Kyle Shanahan. Kyle Shanahan's skinny ass flies into the air, but he manages to catch himself with a wall, and then he immediately goes for a headbutt onto Sean McVay. That staggers the both of them, and that's when Mike McDonald pounces. He grabs one of the chairs in this office-like room and just starts swinging right at the both of them. Manages to miss Sean McVay, but catches Kyle Shanahan right in the dome. He looks at him like, oh, shit, I hit him harder than I probably should have. And that's when Sean McVay comes in there, and he goes for the low blow. But Mike McDonald's always prepared. He has a cup. He's wearing a cup. He just looks at him, and he's like, huh, is that supposed to hurt? Boom! Finger poke into the eye, and then just grabs him by the head, goes for the knee, knocks him out. Mike McDonald walks out that room, the last man standing, while Jonathan Gannon is still stuck in that wall trying to get his head out of there.
Beautiful.
Thank you. That's my vote. Gentlemen, Bethke.
There's one for Mike McDonald. Now to Bethke.
I think these guys decided that via vote. That's how I think all my Royal Rumbles are going to go. They're going to the guys get to vote majority rules for the game, for the how they decide the match. This one's going to be done via bench press competition. It's a 3-1 vote. Kyle Shanahan is not at all happy with the results.
Guys, that doesn't prove your strength.
He doesn't enjoy it. In fact, he goes crazy and tries to firebomb the proceedings. Police arrest him, and he is under, heavy amounts of police scrutiny and judicial problems moving forward. The other three contestants move forward. Now, I would say that Kyle Shanahan might have had a point because, unfortunately, they also decided to do like a Squid Game style. If you lose, there's someone with a mask right there. Fucking you're eliminated.
Fucking rifle you to the chest or the head.
You're eliminated. So once you lose the bench press, you're eliminated. Naturally, Sean McVay's the first to go because he was too cocky. He looks like he's lifted. He has in his life, but he doesn't do that anymore. He's just living off the residuals, and it caught up to him. Jonathan Gannon tries to bring out the cannons. Doesn't go well for him. Ultimately, what they don't realize is Mike McDonald's out there, got the old school Army version of it. He's already cranked out about 105 minutes. He's super soldier serum with that shit. Thus, Patrick, you can say whatever you want, but we've already decided.
Mike McDonald is going to take the West with at least 2 of the 3 votes here.
Facts.
Yeah, so I think before this fight happened, we had some classic NFL-style collusion where Shanahan and McVay are like, look, obviously, we're the guys here. So we're going to pick off the easy ones first, and then we'll fight each other for the real supremacy. So right off the bat, Shanahan jumps Gannon, McVay jumps McDonald. They get the upper hand, obviously, at first, just because it's kind of surprising how quick they do this. But then there's a little bit of fight back, and Gannon ends up beating Shanahan to the stun of Shanahan. But McVay does.
No one else.
McVay does take McDonald down, so his part of the plan was completed. And you got McVay and Gannon. Gannon does have the reach. He's trying, but McVay's got a Super Bowl, a Lombardi trophy, right? It's gonna be really dumb if I'm wrong about this.
McVay?
They won
Yeah.
it. Didn't the Rams won
Yes.
one, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Sorry.
Matt
all of a sudden,
Stafford,
all of a
Super
sudden,
Bowl
I doubted
champion.
myself in the middle of this. To be, how dumb am I if they didn't have it? So he pulls out his Lombardi and beats Jonathan Gannon to death with it, and that'll that's how McVay would have won.
It's beautiful.
That is.
But
Hey, Mike McDonald, you're moving on to the
Moving
Elite Eight.
This is Past the Rock.